Start again. All right, so coming back on Ti Caudron, Vitality Wellness, we're going to talk through 3 quick subjects: ketone supplements in the broader context of keto, intermittent fasting, and supplements to support your immune system for COVID-19. All right, so I'm going to start with keto, and this is going to be my 2-minute overview. I also have a keto cleanse, which is a longer explanation and practice with keto. So several years ago, the Navy SEAL divers commissioned the University of Florida to basically help them with the problem they were having, where the divers were having seizures when they went on deep covert missions. And the University of Florida, the researchers there, were working on coming up with something that would help to prevent that. And for over 100 years, Johns Hopkins has been using the ketogenic diet and studying it with children that have seizures and epilepsy in particular, and children who are resistant to medication on the ketogenic diet often will have fewer seizures or no seizures. So with that knowledge in mind, they were looking to figure out how to bring the ketogenic diet in a pill. In brief, the ketogenic diet is a high-fat, very low carbohydrate, moderate protein eating style. And what happens is, because the carbohydrates are very low, your body actually thinks that it's starving. And you won't experience yourself as starving because the fat keeps you very satiated. But when the glucose and the blood sugar drop that low, the body goes into an evolutionary metabolic thing where it starts to burn your body fat as fuel. And in the burning of body fat and in the burning of the fat in your diet, the body makes something called ketones. So the state of ketosis is having the body produce ketones at a therapeutic level. And the idea behind the research was to produce a pill that would actually put a Navy SEAL diver into ketosis prior to a mission without having to use the nutrition, because it takes 3 to 4 weeks of applying that nutritional protocol to actually get into ketosis reliably for the body to shift gears into burning fat. So they did not come up with a pill, but they came up with a drink. And it took a few years after that to make the drink palatable for the consumer market. And the company that they licensed the technology to is a company called Prove It. They were the first ones out with the ketones. And they're the ketone supplements that I use in my classes. So there's 3 different kinds that we use. There's a broth, there is a creamer, and there is a drink, basically. Like, they're all drinks, but it's sort of like a fruity drink. And what these packets are is some combination of exogenous ketones, which are basically the same thing. They're identical to the body, the same thing that the body produces when it is burning fat. And by drinking one of these drinks, you put your body into a state of ketosis, having ketones on board. And that brings with it all of the benefits that ketones bring to the body. One of the interesting things about having developed a supplemental ketone on the market now is the unbelievably large amount of research that is going on in this area, because instead of having to do research where participants have to eat the ketogenic diet, which is very hard to monitor for 4 weeks and very hard to do, they can put people into ketosis right away using ketone supplements. The keto creamer has a type of fat called medium chain triglyceride, MCT, which is one of the body's preferential fats that it turns into ketones. So taking supplemental ketones, taking the keto creamer, gives the body a jump start into producing its own ketones, puts the ketones on board, and then it also develops a pathway for the body to start burning fat and produce its own ketones. The benefits are really broad in the literature if you Google the benefits of ketones, and been very surprising to researchers. Initially, again, it was looked at as a seizure remedy, but what they found is that for patients with dementia and brain disorders, that ketones actually will show up on a functional MRI in lighting up areas of the brain that were previously looked like they were dead, like that there were no connections coming through. And for regular folk, they really amount of focus. For people scattered and unfocused, you notice a distinct difference when you have ketones on board. So other things include appetite suppression. Teddy, I don't know if you can hear Teddy, but he's like over here. Appetite suppression, energy, whether or not they're caffeinated, they provide energy because they are an energy source. And very interestingly, there's a huge role that ketones play in decreasing inflammation. So they inhibit the inflammatory cascade and have so much potential in terms of what that can do for humans and creatures. Oh my God, hold on 1 second. Teddy's like, I got to let him out of the room. All right, you're messing up my call, dude. Okay. So what I love about supplemental ketones is I don't have to be on the ketogenic diet to be in ketosis. So I use them very strategically to drink when I want more focus for a meeting like this, before dance, when I want more energy, in the middle of the day, if I want appetite suppression, in the evening, if I want appetite suppression or better sleep. So I'm a distributor of ketones.com. So drinkyourketo.com. You can also go to VitaliTi Wellness, and I have nutritional products listed there, and you can take the one that says ketones to check out those products. If you do have any questions about it, it is a more in-depth conversation, so we can definitely do another Zoom that's specifically about that, but I just wanted to put that out there. The last thing I want to say about the keto diet is I think that the way it's done, widespread, it's one of the most searched diet terms now in Google, whereas before ketone supplements came around, hardly anybody was practicing the ketogenic diet. And now everybody's doing it. You see restaurant menus with keto on it. What I will caution is that many people make mistakes when they look online at what people are doing, including eating too much animal protein, which then can be very fatiguing, very, very hard on the body, hard on the liver, hard on the kidneys. And also substituting a lot of dangerous processed junk food into the keto diet. For example, like getting a fast food burger with cheese and leaving out the bun and calling that keto, or eating a lot of bacon and other processed meats, a lot of dairy. So one of the things I want to caution is that when I work with our classes and my clients on the ketogenic diet, I teach a style called the keto cleanse, which is much more of a plant-based, nutritious approach to keto that excludes the processed meat, food, and basically anything that your brain goes, could this be nutritious, like pork rinds? But it's definitely not. It's not. So we exclude those foods and we keep it whole foods based, plant-based, etc. And it will be a class that I will offer in the future for sure in person, but perhaps also by virtual. So that's that. Now, part of keto is something called intermittent fasting that a lot of people practice, and the two intersect. And the idea of intermittent fasting is not a fast that you would do every day, but something that you would sometimes do. And one of the easiest ways that people will do it is to extend the amount of time between dinner and breakfast. So they might eat dinner early, like eat and finish at 4 or something, and then start breakfast a little bit later. Or if you finish by 7 or 8 or 9, whatever time you finish, then you might skip breakfast and have your first meal later in the day, like 1 or 2 o'clock. There's lots of different studies, lots of different ways that people practice intermittent fasting. Some of my favorite things to do with intermittent fasting is to set as a goal a 16 to 18 hour fast as your goal, and then to have really highly nutritious vitality type meals during your feeding window, as opposed to what some people do, which is like a free-for-all of eating anything you want during that window. That really doesn't work. The other thing that I love is adding our tools during the fast. So having paleo greens as an example, having supplemental ketones, or making, they call it a fat tea or coffee, where you might add some of the keto creamer to your coffee or tea, or a little bit of coconut oil or whipped coconut cream, something like that. And the idea, again, similar to the ketogenic diet, is that if you're just doing fat during your fast, the body still drains down its glucose and will start burning fat. It thinks you're in a state of fasting. So it's what we call a biohack, like a backdoor into getting your body to do the benefits of fasting without having it be very hard. And Johns Hopkins, again, is in the forefront of a lot of the research on that. And one article that I read, which I loved, said that the impact of intermittent fasting on the brain is similar to the impact of exercise on muscles. It's a type of beneficial stress called eustress, EU stress, and that it really helps the brain to develop more pathways and light up more pathways in the brain, et cetera. And so again, the research on intermittent fasting has exploded the same way that the research on keto has. And there are so many articles and studies and so many things happening there. So you could try intermittent fasting and or it will be something that we cover in the cleanse next week. And then the last thing is nutrition and supplements related to COVID-19. So first and foremost is eating a really nutritiously dense diet. So having plenty of vegetables, we talked about on the PowerUp, having 5 to 10 servings per day, that being your best and most primary nutritional defense, because the nutrients, the phytochemicals, the lectins, even the things that are in plant proteins are extremely protective and really help the body to function at its best. So first and foremost, you want to focus on that as your best and most important strategy to boost your immune system. Secondly, around that is to, similar to the PowerUp, to avoid those ultra-processed foods, that you want to think of those as deficits to your immune system. Basically, if your immune system were functioning at 100 with a really healthy diet, every time you eat those ultra-processed foods, you're debiting, lowering the guard of your immune system. Part of what happens is it causes your immune system to have to work hard to, sometimes it creates an inflammatory response to those foods, especially ones that have triggers to certain people. People have sensitivities to some of those ingredients, like cow dairy or gluten or sugar. And it makes you more susceptible to catching something else. It lowers your defenses. So keeping your nutrition based on whole foods and having that wide variety of colors instead of not artificial colors, of natural colors in your diet, getting all of those different nutrients. So that would be my primary thing, recognizing that sugar is in many ultra-processed foods. It's the second ingredient in the cereal that we have at our house, like the organic, Nature's Valley, whatever it is, cereal, oats, something, second ingredient is sugar. So just becoming more aware of those ultra-processed foods, what the ingredients are, and the toll that they're taking on your immune system. From a supplement standpoint, one of the things that is really interesting around the research is the impact of IV vitamin C on its potential ability to inhibit the COVID-19 virus. And so one of the things that I recommend everybody get for their pharmacy at home, their home nutrition supply, is a product from Designs for Health called Liposomal Vitamin C. And I will just put that into the chat bar. So it's a new product from Designs for Health with a new liposomal vitamin C, with the new delivery method. And it is back ordered from Designs for Health. So you would have to go to their website and put me in as your practitioner, Ti Caudron, one word, to set up an account, and then they will put you on back order. Or you can order Designs for Health normally through my website, but not if something's back ordered. So the idea behind the liposomal vitamin C is that ordinarily vitamin C that you take orally, there's a limit to how much your body will absorb, and it creates actually a loose stool when you take in too much. And it's one strategy that some naturopaths will use, for example, to get through constipation. and there's a tolerance. But with liposomal vitamin C, your body absorbs it differently through the delivery mechanism. It's a liquid. And so gives us an opportunity to use the vitamin C differently should somebody in our family contract COVID, or if we're think that we're exposed in some way, then that would be something. Also, just having vitamin C on hand. They have Stellar C, which is a capsule, and C+ BioFizz, which is a powder. Having those on hand is also first line of defense in general against the virus. There's also some really interesting research coming out, which I will post on, I don't know if you can see this, but it's called Anato GG150. So it's like super blurry. Okay, hold on. Let me write that in here. I don't even know how to spell it. ANNATTO GG150. And that's another Designs for Health product. I read some really interesting research about its impact on viruses like COVID-19, other coronaviruses. So that looks really promising. So it's something that I have in I sort of have this, this armory that I'm building, this nutritional armory for our family. And then similarly, I talked about yesterday, Quercetin. So I can see how bad it is to lift up products this way. I'll have to do screen shares. So Quercetin is another supplement. Designs for Health has two kinds. They have Quercetin and Nettles, which is a capsule. And then they have the powder, which is the one that I got, the Quercetin ascorbate, which is Quercetin plus vitamin C. And there is some great research on Quercetin and also stinging nettles. Those supplements are useful against seasonal allergies, in particular respiratory allergies. And there's some research that the way that COVID-19 works is similar to respiratory allergy in how it gets into the lungs and the impact that Quercetin and nettles have on that to actually help protect the body. So those are my main COVID-19 arsenals, basically the liposomal vitamin C, the Anato GG, and the Quercetin. And then in terms of just protective, everyday, healthy supplements, a few that I think are worth taking right now, especially, are vitamin D. So Designs for Health has vitamin D Supreme, which is a higher vitamin D. It includes vitamin K for absorption. So vitamin D Supreme, one a day. And then zinc. So Designs for Health has something called Zinc Supreme. And zinc is really important for proper immune functioning. It's also important for your gut lining. And one of the things to think about is if you don't have integrity in your microbiome lining, in your gut lining, if you have something that we call leaky gut, then you have a leaky lungs, basically. So maintaining your gut health during this time is really important. It's a future class that I'll be presenting, but zinc is a really helpful supplement in that regard. So zinc and vitamin D, and then having a good multivitamin. I have, where is mine? Oh, well, I have Metabolic Synergy from Designs for Health, which I love, but just making sure that you're getting your trace nutrients and your trace vitamins daily, even if you have a really good diet, just so that your body is functioning at its most efficient. So I'm going to pause there and just see if anybody has any questions or comments about any of that I just talked about. If you do, if you want to just unmute, because it's just a few of us now, and you can ask it or you can write it in the chat, whatever you prefer.
I was trying to order as you were speaking, and it won't recognize your name. Maybe I'm going to redo it. But
oh, okay. Put it together, Javiera, as one word. So Ti Caudron all together. That's my practitioner code with Designs for Health.
Okay, I'm going to try again.
Yeah. Okay. And even I am waitlisted, I will say, or whatever that's called.
Yeah, that's why I want to get it now, because if I wait, who knows?
Right. Me too. I was the same. I was like, I'm going to get it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You do like, what's that? Like say it one more time.
The paleo green I've had in the past has been my favorite.
Yeah. 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 Bye, Mom. you want to come off mute and say bye before you leave, just so I can hear your voice?
Okay, bye.
Still muted.
Bye, this is
Okay.
wonderful. Lots of great information. Thank you.
Okay, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
everyone. I love you all too.
So Designs for Health is by far my favorite nutrition company. I've used them for over 15 years. One of the reasons I like them so much is they get such great results in our classes. And then also that I do a lot of customized nutritional testing where I test people's nutritional status, and the Designs for Health supplements function beautifully. They, the protocol for GI stuff, it clears up GI stuff. It clears up, a nutritional deficiency if I see a nutritional deficiency in zinc, for example, whereas other supplements don't. When somebody is taking other things, they don't. Rob says, it is okay to take all the DFH supplements I recommended on a daily basis. So definitely, but also for myself, I've been thinking about this whole notion of the stockpile, right? Like, what do I want to have in my arsenal? And then what do I want to take on a daily basis? So right now, what I'm taking on a daily basis is the zinc and the vitamin D. And I'm not taking the liposomal vitamin C because I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm taking the C plus BioFizz, which is a powder, and then sometimes the Stellar C. But I'm just taking it in a low dose, like 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day, not in a high dose of that. I am taking a higher dose of vitamin D. So I am taking 5,000 milligrams of vitamin D. I forget what the thing on that is, but because it's been shown that higher levels of vitamin D are really protective to the immune system. So in terms of the annatto and the quercetin, I just unpacked my box today. So I am going to start taking those, but I'm going to hold my liposomal vitamin C for if we have an emergency and somebody starts getting sick. So I'm going to put all of this in a handout, Rob, that I will definitely make available to everybody. So how much zinc do I recommend? That's a really good question. So I'm going to have to, Joan, I'm going to have to look at the bottle and see what's on there and then get back to you. So when I send out my email, I'll send it out with the recommendations, the doses on here for you to give you a better exacto on it. And then also zinc sometimes makes me feel nauseous. So I'll also include that. Zinc is something I take with food, and that I don't notice any problem with it if I take it with food.
Okay.
So any other questions, you guys, or comments? Did that work, Javiera?
It didn't. I was just typing that I would wait for your information. It didn't work. I went just to the Design for Health website, and then it asked.
Yeah,
it didn't work. So I'll wait for your links.
For the email. And then maybe after this call, Javier, we can share screens together and I can look and see what you're doing.
Okay.
Because I am really interested in that also, because they told me that my clients could go directly to their website right now because of the back order thing for certain things that they couldn't find on my website. Yeah. So we'll look at that after this call. All right. Anything else that you guys, questions or comments? All right. So any takeaways? Do you guys want to come off mute? Because there's just a few of us. Do you want to come off mute and we'll do takeaways? Joan, you want to start us off because you're off mute?
Yeah.
I can see it.
Well, I'm just really grateful too for this call, and it was a kind of a surprise, and that my friend Carolyn was on here, and so she and I have partnered up, and that's been really fun for us and helpful just to have a buddy to talk to when I eat my 2 brownies at the end of the night. And I'm not supposed to.
Right.
Next time I have to call her before, though. That's the key. But
right.
I'm interested in purchasing some of these supplements because I actually am at the end of my supplements right now, finishing off a few bottles, and I was ready to buy some new ones. So I'm glad to have some ideas about how to boost my immune system right now. I think that's important for my whole family. And I'm just also, I'm excited to get my green minerals that I purchased. They're hopefully coming today or tomorrow. to add that to my water, because I have increased my water for sure, but I don't have any of that. So I'm excited to add that.
Good.
This week.
Oh, awesome. It's such a quick way to boost your nutrition and so easy too. So thank you, Joan. I appreciate all of that.
Yeah.
Javiera, do you want to give us some takeaways?
I think it's working now. I got one step ahead, so I think it's working now.
Awesome. Was there any trick, Javiera, that you used? You're on the Designs for Health site?
It didn't work. It didn't work at first. It was the same, so I don't know why it didn't work at first. And I'm refreshing, and it looks like now, because I got the price and going to the cart, so it looks like it's going to work.
Okay. Awesome. Great news. Okay.
Yeah, just getting back in the zone. My biggest challenge, that's my takeaway. Just getting back into the zone, and all good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You were about to say your biggest challenge.
I need the group push.
Yeah.
Once I'm in the zone, it's not so hard for me to avoid, except what everybody has said about after 4 or after the nighttime thing is just I get sloppy there, and being organized is my thing about the food and shopping and all that. But
yeah, great. And Javi, yeah, and I'm exactly the same about the group. I don't do my nutrition nearly as well when I'm on my own. So there's something, human beings really were built to be in community together, and there's something that makes it so much easier to practice things in community, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Javiera. That's great. Let's see, Nancy, I think you're off mute now. Would you like to share your takeaway?
One quick question was, what was that? Drink Your Ketos, or your website to buy the ketosis
so that's
stuff?
Drink Your Keto. Oh my gosh, I'm writing in all caps. I think it makes me look angry. drinkyourketo.com. So if you put that into your browser, it will then redirect to my Prove It website, and my Prove It website is proveitnow.com. And then if you're ever forget, what anything is, if you go to my normal website, which is just vitalitywellness.com. Then you can go to the tab that says nutritional products. And then I have links there to go to Designs for Health, or link to go to Prove It to get the ketones.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And then
things,
Nancy, yeah. Oh, no, you go.
Oh, I have 3 girls. I'll be greens. And it was interesting. One girl also took them, and the 2 others thought we were psychos. But it was fun to join them going, you drink that? Ew, gross. And I'm like, no, it's good.
I know, huh? I know. With my nephews, really I have to cover the color.
Oh, do you see? I can see that.
They're better if they can't see it. They're fine. Oh, good.
Exactly.
I'm so glad, Nancy. So glad.
Well, thank you, ladies.
And oh yeah, our pleasure. And Rob, but I just threw my cell phone number up there because the Prove It website is notoriously bad. So if you are like overwhelmed with the products or whatever, just text me and we can get on screen share or something, or I can give you some recommendations in terms of what to get or what I use. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Rob and Tanette, you guys want to come off mute and give us your takeaways?
Hey, T.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, we just love the fact that you've kind of offered this up to get everybody kind of back on track, and we've really been looking forward to the calls. It's a nice break from the action. We're sequestered, and this is definitely kind of getting us motivated to, stock up on all the right stuff and not leaning towards, the comfort foods, which I think a lot of people are doing at this point. Actually, we're looking forward to re-engage and kind of going forward. So awesome to see you. Tanette, do you have anything to add?
No, thank you, T. It's going to get me back on track. So
I'm so glad. And
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, yeah. So I usually try to at least do one hormonally balanced meal first thing in the morning. but like it seems like everyone else in the evening, that's when I kind of struggle. Even though I have that clean meal, it's almost like after that meal, it's like, okay, what is something sweet that I can try to snack on? But I'm gonna start looking at more cleanse-friendly desserts or snacks that I can
great.
munch on. I think because the easy button shakes in the morning is already sweet, but then, you know what I mean? So that like, it's like perfect, you know, meal with the sweetness, but then it's more like when I eat the savory meals in the evening, it's when I kind of struggle, so.
You know, sidebar, Canette, sometimes I take, like if I have a vegan meal in the evening, I take the Arbonne protein, which is sweet, and put it with a ton of ice in my Vitamix, and I use the tamper thing to make it work basically, and it turns out like ice cream. And then when I'm not like and when I'm not officially cleansing, Tony and I will put in frozen banana and frozen avocado into it, which makes it super creamy and awesome. And I've been doing that this week, like if I want a snack, having a Whole Foods based snack after 7 or during, you know, whenever, if I want a sweet or whatever. And it's been great. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm not at the level that I'd be at if I were on a cleanse, but it's been working for me really well. So, and you know, I'm proud of myself to do that, like a whole food based thing, than to be reaching for something else.
Right, because I'm not a snacker, so the 4 to 6 in between is really easy for me. And just hydrate in between. But it's just that after that meal, looking for that sweetness after. So that's, so thanks for the tip.
Yeah. And then in our cleanse, Tanya White, who is like the equivalent of Rob when she teaches with me sometimes in Pleasant Hill, she's a super amazing home chef, and she's got a lot of great recipes that she shared with our mastery community that I'll share. One of them is a cauliflower-based, like literally riced cauliflower-based dessert that she made for our last mastery event. She has like a homemade crepe recipe that she's done where she adds like some cinnamon and different things to it. And she has, for keto folks, she has a lemon fat bomb, which is like amazingly good. So the only challenge that I have with her recipes is that I really want to eat like the whole thing also. So even though it's okay because it's really healthy and nutritious stuff, I just have to watch like what the sweet treat does to me. But if you're a person who can just have a little sweet treat and then you're satisfied, her recipes are incredible. They're healthy, actually. They're nutritious in addition to being sweet.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks you guys so much for being on.
You know, Antoinette's not giving herself much credit. She's the food Nazi. She can have a small amount and be done. So that would work out well.
That's what I thought. I thought that. I don't have that same control, but I thought that she did. So that's awesome. Perfect.
It worked,
Perfect. I'll get those out.
It worked. My order is being processed. So.
All right. Thank you, Javiera. That was important information for us. Perfect. And then Glenn, did you want to come mute and tell us your takeaway? I think I can hear you.
Hi.
If you want to try. There you are. Hi.
Here I am. I was just typing. I was saying that Elisa was a lot of fun, and I'd like to know how to get in touch with her. And you know, I wrote down that I was going to change my my game plan, because you know I had my dates all together when I was going to be at one weight and another weight, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
But I think I'm going to change my whole program now, because I think that I'm going to continue to use this time to lose the last 5 pounds or 7 pounds, and then go on the cleanse, and then like righteously go on the cleanse. And I bet you that things a lot easier for me, and I'll have a wider leeway for my maintenance weight. You see what I mean?
Awesome, Glenn. I do. I love it. I think, did you want to connect with Liz or with Lila, or both of them? Which, the exercise person or the yoga person?
The exercise person.
Oh yeah, with Liz. Okay, yeah, absolutely. And she's going to offer us some free functional movement classes next week. So I have a couple different, times for her. So I'm going to put them in the email, and then you guys can let me know which times are best for you. But they're, let me just see what I wrote them down. 5 is some of hers, and Tuesday, Thursday at 9 a.m. and Saturday spots right now. And she's going to, I don't know which ones, we'll have to pick a couple of them, but then she's going to do Zoom functional movement class. Really
Good.
looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
You know,
Awesome.
I'm working out, but there's some things I can't do because I have tendonitis in my left hand. So
Yeah.
I kind of need somebody to talk to about how to change some of the exercises to work with that.
Yeah, perfect, Glenn. I'll forward her information to you and post it on Facebook. She's so good.
Good.
And she's just great at working with specific issues.
Well, good. Great. I enjoyed this class. It was good.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, I had a great time. Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, everybody. Thank you. This is such a thank you all so much. And so tomorrow, if you can make it, 4 o'clock Facebook Live. And okay, sorry about that. I dropped out and now I'm upside down. I love that. Let's see if this will work. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my phone dropped me off. But anyway, so thank you guys so much. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock for the Facebook Live on the Vitality Wellness page. Next week, Monday, Thursday, 4 o'clock for continued meetings. All right, thanks you guys and take care. Awesome, thanks Rob. See you guys later.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye, T.